10 unique cultural traits in everyday life in France. France has long been regarded as one of the most representative countries of cultural sophistication and depth in Europe. Beyond its rich history, France stands out for its unique cultural values that have influenced many parts of the world. When people think of this country, they often associate it with refined cuisine, iconic elegant fashion, world-renowned art, and cities that embody romance and charm. However, beyond these well-known symbols, the true appeal of France lies in everyday life of its people. That is why cultural values are not confined to books or museums, but are vividly expressed through daily habits, behaviors, and social interactions. These simple yet meaningful aspects create a more authentic and relatable picture of France's culture. In daily life, French people not only focus on work efficiency, but also place great importance on quality of life. They value balance between work and rest, responsibility and enjoyment. Everyday elements such as greetings, communication styles, eating habits, and time spent with family and friends all reflect a refined and thoughtful way of living. Rather than rushing, the French tend to savor each moment, whether it is enjoying a cup of coffee, taking a walk, or sharing a carefully prepared meal. Moreover, the way French people express themselves carries a distinctive cultural identity. They emphasize politeness, respect personal boundaries, and maintain a natural yet captivating demeanor. These traits are evident not only in public settings but also in personal relationships, shaping a unique lifestyle that defines everyday life in France. Therefore, exploring the unique cultural aspect of daily life in France not only help us better understand its people and society, but also offer valuable insight into different ways of living. Seemingly simple values such as refined communication, appreciation of time, and joy in small moments plays an essential role in creating a meaningful and balanced life. Below are 10 distinctive cultural traits that best represent the unique identity of France in everyday life. 1. Polite and refined greeting culture. In France, greeting culture is not simply a social formality, but an essential part of how people express respect, politeness, and relationships with one another. For the French, a proper greeting can create a positive first impression and reflect the level of refinement that is highly valued in everyday communication. In daily life, French people pay close attention to using greetings appropriate to the time of the day. In the morning or during the daytime, they commonly say bonjour, a friendly and polite greeting. As evening approaches, bonsoir is used instead. These greetings are not just routine expressions, they serve as the foundation for all interactions. Even when entering a small shop, bakery, café, or elevator, saying bonjour is considered an unwritten rule that everyone follows. What makes this even more interesting is that failing to greet others in France can be perceived as rude or distant. Shopkeepers, staff, and even strangers appreciate it when someone takes the initiative to greet them. Therefore, greetings are not merely polite gesture, but also a way to establish connection and mutual respect in everyday encounters. In addition to verbal greetings, the French also have a distinctive and well-known form of greeting called la bise, which involves lightly kissing on the cheek. That is commonly used among friends, family members, or acquaintances. During la bise, people gently touch cheeks, sometimes accompanied by a light kissing sound. This gesture expresses warmth, familiarity, and closeness in social relationships. However, la bise is not used in everyday situation. In professional setting or when meeting someone for the first time, a handshake is more appropriate. Friend handshakes are usually brief, light, and formal, reflecting respect and professionalism. As relationships become more familiar, ladies may gradually respect handshake. Another fascinating aspect of greeting culture in France is that the number of cheek kisses in Le Bise vary depending on the region. In many places, people kiss twice, one for each cheek. In other regions, it may be 3 or even 4 times. This variation can sometimes confuse newcomers, but it also adds diversity and uniqueness to French greeting tradition. Additionally, the choice of pronouns play an important role in greetings. The French clearly distinguish between the formal vowels and the informal too. When meeting people for the first time or in formal situation, vowels is used to show respect. Only when the relationship becomes closer to people switch to two. This highlights subtlety and awareness of social boundaries in French communication. Overall, greeting culture in France reflects the core value of French society: respect, politeness, and human connection. Simple activities such as saying bonjour or exchanging goodbyes carry deep meaning in building relationships and creating a harmonious social environment. For foreigners visiting France, understanding and practicing proper greeting is an important step toward integrating into culture. A simple greeting at the right moment can leave a good impression and open the door to smoother communication. For this reason, greeting culture is not only a beautiful tradition but also an essential part of everyday life in France. 2. The French place great importance on meals. In France, food is not merely about satisfying hunger, it is an essential part of culture and lifestyle. For the French, every meal is a complete experience, not when they not only enjoy food but also appreciate time, atmosphere, and meaningful conversations with family and friends. Therefore, meals in daily life carry a much deeper significance than simple nutrition. In today's fast-paced world, many people tend to eat quickly to save time. However, in France, the tradition of slow and mindful eating is still strongly preserved. Lunch and dinner are considered important moments for relaxation and recharging. French people rarely rush through meals, especially main ones. Instead, they take time to savor flavors, textures, and subtle details of each dish while enjoying a calm and pleasant environment. A traditional French meal is often structured into several courses, creating a refined and balanced dining experience. It typically begins with an appetizer such as soup, salad, or light starters that stimulate the appetite. That is followed by the main course, which may include meat, fish, or carefully prepared dishes served with vegetables. After that, cheese is often served, a distinctive and beloved part of French cuisine. Finally, dessert is present, which could be fruit, pastries, or sweet treat that provide satisfying conclusion to the meal. This structured approach to eating is not limited to restaurants. It is also practiced in many households. French families value eating together as a way to strengthen bonds. During meal, people talk, share stories about their day, and create a warm, welcoming atmosphere. This highlights that meals are not just about food, but also about connection and togetherness. Another key aspect of French food culture is the emphasis on quality ingredients and preparation. The French often prefer fresh, seasonal, and locally sourced ingredients. Dishes are prepared with care, paying attention to both flavor and presentation. For them, a good meal is not only about taste but also about the overall sensory experience. Bread, especially the famous baguette, is a daily staple in French life. Many people buy fresh bread every day from local bakeries. Cheese is another iconic element with hundreds of varieties offering unique flavors and textures. While it's also commonly enjoyed during meals, not just as beverage but as a complement that enhances the taste of food. Desserts and pâtisseries also play an important role in French cuisine. These delicacies are often beautifully crafted and reflect both creativity and culinary artistry. Enjoying desserts is seen as an essential part of completing a meal. One notable characteristic of French eating habits is that they do not eat merely to feel full, but to truly enjoy the experience. Food is considered an art of living, where each meal becomes an opportunity to relax, connect, and appreciate life. This philosophy is one of the reasons why French cuisine is admired worldwide. For foreigners, experiencing meals in the French styles can be eye-opening. From eating slowly and following a structured course to engaging in meaningful conversations, it is offer a completely different perspective on dining. It is not help in understanding French culture better, but also provide valuable lesson on how to enjoy life more fully. Overall, meals in French daily life are not just a necessity, but a defining cultural element. Through their approach to food, one can clearly see the elegant appreciation and love for life that French continue to cherish. 3. The unique cafe culture. When people think of France, one of the most iconic and recognizable image is the charming street cafe with small tables and chairs arranged along sidewalks. Especially in Paris, cafe culture is an essential part of daily life, creating a unique atmosphere that leaves a lasting impression on visitors. Unlike in many parts of the world where cafes are places for quick drink, in France they serve as cultural space where people slow down and enjoy life. The French visit cafes not only to drink coffee, but also to read newspapers, work, chat with friends, observe passersby, or simply sit quietly and reflect. It is a place where they connect with the world around them in a calm and meaningful way. Interestingly, in France, it is common for someone to order the small cup of coffee, such as an espresso, and stay for a long time. There is no pressure to leave quickly. Cafes are seen as open space where individuals can enjoy their time freely. This reflects the French philosophy of valuing quality experience over speed and efficiency. The design and atmosphere of French cafes also contribute to the charm. Small tables, woven chairs, sunshades, and simply yet elegant decorations create a warm and inviting environment. Tables are often arranged facing the street, allowing customers to observe everyday life. This setup is not just practical, it reflects a cultural appreciation for interaction between people and their surroundings. Cafes in France have also historically been centers of intellectual and creative activity. Writers, artists, and thinkers have long gathered in these places to exchange ideas, discuss social issues, or find inspiration. Even today, cafes continue to play an important role in cultural life, maintaining this tradition of creativity and conversation. Another notable aspect is how the French enjoy the coffee. Rather than taking drinks to go, they prefer to sit down and savor them. Drinking coffee becomes a small daily ritual, a moment to relax and recharge. Even during busy days, Many people still make time to visit their favorite cafe and enjoy a few peaceful minutes. In addition to coffee, France Cafe offer a variety of beverage and light meals such as patties, croissants, and sandwiches. However, what truly makes them special is not just the menu, but the overall experience. The ambient, sounds, aromas, and interactions between people create a unique atmosphere that is difficult to replicate elsewhere. Cafe culture in France clearly reflects a slow, refined lifestyle and an appreciation for life's small pleasures. The French do not rush through their days. Instead, they take time to pause and enjoy the moment. A simple cup of coffee, a good book, or a light conversation can bring genuine satisfaction. For visitors, sitting at a cafe in France is more than just an activity. It is an opportunity to understand the culture and lifestyle of the people. By observing daily life from the cafe table, one can truly feel the charm and tranquility of French living. Overall, cafe in France is not just a place to drink coffee. They are an integral part of social and cultural life. They serve as space for connection, reflection, and enjoyment. That is why cafe culture remains one of the most defining and beloved aspects of France. 4. Fashion as a part of everyday life. France has long been considered one of the world's most influential fashion capitals. When people think of France, they often imagine prestigious fashion houses, renowned designers, and globally influential runways. However, what truly makes France's fashion unique is not only its luxury brand or haute couture collections, but also how fashion is seamlessly integrated into everyday life. In France, fashion is not something reserved for professionals or elites. Instead, it is a natural part of daily living. Whether going to work, walking through the streets, shopping at local markets, meeting friends, or sitting in a cafe, French people use clothing as a way to express themselves. Their style reflects individuality, personality, and aesthetic sense. One of the most distinctive characteristics of French fashion is its simplicity combined with elegance. French people do not usually change hands aggressively or wear overly flashy outfits. Instead, they prefer minimally design, neutral tone, and well-balanced combinations. That understated approach create a timeless and sophisticated appearance. Comfort and fit are also very important in French fashion. People tend to choose clothes that suit their body and feel comfortable to wear. Rather than following short-term trends, they invest in highly quality pieces with good tailoring that can be worn for a long time. Another remarkable aspect is the ability to mix and match outfits effortlessly. Basic items such as shirts, jeans, and simple coats can be combined to create a stylish and cohesive look. This approach is often referred to as effortless chic, a natural elegance that appears simple yet defined. Even in everyday activities like going to work, shopping, or visiting a cafe, French people pay attention to their appearance. They do not necessarily dress extravagantly, but they always aim to look neat, clean, and well put together. This reflects respect not only for themselves but also for others around them. Fashion in France is also closely connected to the idea of minimalism and sustainability. Many people prefer to build a wardrobe with essential versatile pieces that do not go out of style. Instead of buying excessively, they focus on quality and longevity. This mindset not only saves money but also contributes to environmental awareness. Accessories also play an important role in French style. A craft, a pair of shoes, or a simple bag can elevate an entire outfit. French people are skilled at using accessories to create subtle highlights without overwhelming the overall look. Confidence is another key element of French fashion. People are not overly influenced by societal pressure when it comes to dressing. They choose their own set of styles and choose what suits them best. This confidence give their appearance a natural charm that is both relaxed and attractive. For the French, dressing well is not about impressing others or showing wealth, but about expressing self-respect and appreciation for one's surrounding. It is part of the cultural identity where beauty is reflected not only in appearance but also in how individuals present themselves. For visitors and fashion enthusiasts, observing how French people dress in daily life can be a great source of inspiration. Without the need for expensive or complicated outfit, anyone can develop a personal style by focusing on simplicity, balance, and confidence. Overall, fashion in France is not just an industry, it is an essential part of everyday culture. It reflects elegance, awareness, and a unique way of living that defines the French lifestyle. 5. The French love bread and traditional bakeries. In France, bread is not just a type of food but a cultural symbol deeply embedded in daily life. The image of people carrying along a baguette while walking along the street has become one of the most recognizable and iconic scenes. This habit reflects a lifestyle that is both simple and refined. The baguette is, with its crispy crust and soft interior, is one of the most famous symbols of French cuisine. For many French people, bread is an essential part of almost every meal, from a light breakfast to a full lunch or dinner. A French loaf can be enjoyed with butter, cheese, cold cuts, or simply on its own to appreciate its natural flavor. One unique aspect of French culture is the habit of buying fresh bread every day rather than storing it for long periods. People often visit their local bakery is in the morning or afternoon to purchase bread that had just come out of the oven. For them, bread tastes best when it is fresh, warm, and retains its signature crispy texture. This daily routine contributes to a distinctive rhythm of life in France. Traditional bakeries known as boulangeries plays an essential role in French society. These shops are not just places to buy food, but also community space where locals frequently stop by and interact with the baker. Almost every neighborhood in France has at least one bakery, and many people remain loyal to their favorite one due to its quality and familiarity. In addition to baguettes, bakeries offer a wide variety of baked goods such as croissants, flaky buttery pastry, and pain au chocolat, a chocolate-filled pastry loved by many. These items are commonly enjoyed during breakfast or as snacks throughout the day. The aroma of freshly baked bread and pastry in the morning is an integral part of everyday life in France. Another important aspect is the emphasis on quality ingredients and traditional baking method. Many bakeries still use artisanal technique, paying close attention to every step from selecting ingredients to kneading dough and baking. This dedication ensures that each product maintains its authentic flavor and craftsmanship. Buying bread daily is not just a routine but also a reflection of cultural value. It shows an appreciation for freshness and a commitment to quality living. The French do not treat food as something trivial. Instead, they pay attention to every detail from taste to the overall experience of eating. In family life, bread also plays a role in bringing people together. Meals that include bread often feel more complete and comforting. Whether simple or elaborate, bread remains a constant presence, contributing to the warmth and unity of shared meal. For visitors, stepping into a friend bakery is a memorable experience. From the visual display of pastries to the inviting aroma and the friendliness of the staff, everything creates a unique atmosphere. Many travelers consider visiting local bakeries an essential part of understanding French culture. Overall, breads and traditional bakeries are not just elements of French cuisine, but vital parts of cultural life. The daily habit of buying bread, fresh bread, and the respect for the quality and the preservation of tradition all reflect a refined lifestyle rooted in simple yet meaningful value. 6. Respect for personal space and privacy. In daily life in France, respect for personal space and privacy is a fundamental value that is naturally reflected in social interactions. French people are generally friendly, polite, and approachable, but they are also very aware of personal boundaries, an important aspect of their refined social behavior. Unlike in some cultures where asking personal questions is seen as a way of showing care, in France, overly personal inquiries may be considered inappropriate, especially when the relationship is not yet close. Topics such as income, financial status, family matters, romantic relationship, or other private issues are usually avoided in early conversations. The French believe that everyone had the right to keep certain aspects of their life private, and respecting this is a sign of politeness and respect. In everyday communication, French people tend to start with light and neutral topics, such as the weather, general work matters, or social issues. They do not rush into personal discussions, but instead allow trust to develop gradually. As relationships grow stronger, conversation naturally become more personal. This gradual approach helps create deeper and more meaningful connections. One of the clearest expressions of respecting personal space in France is the use of pronouns. The French language distinguishes between vowels, formal and to informal. In most initial interactions, especially with strangers, older individuals, or in professional settings, voice is used to show respect only when the relationship becomes closer to people switch to two, often with mutual agreement. In addition to language, French people are also mindful of physical distance in communication. They usually maintain a comfortable space when speaking, particularly with people they do not know well. Standing too close or engaging in overly familiar physical contact without consent may make others feel uncomfortable. This shows that respect for personal space applies both emotionally and physically. In the workplace, this cultural trait is even more evident. The French tend to maintain a clear separation between professional and personal life. They generally avoid bringing too many personal matters into the workplace, focus on maintaining a respectful and professional environment. Moreover, privacy is highly valued in personal life. French people do not appreciate being overly observed, questioned, or interfered with. That is reflected in how they use social media, interact with neighbors, and manage relationships. Each individual is entitled to their own personal space, and respecting that is considered essential. It is important to note that valuing privacy does not mean being cold or distant. On the contrary, once trust is established, French people can be very open and sincere. The difference that they take time to build that trust rather than rushing into familiarity. This leads to relationships that are more genuine and long lasting. This respect for personal boundaries contributes to a well-ordered and balanced society. When individuals understand and respect other limits, social interactions become more harmonious. People can engage with one another comfortably without feeling pressure or intruded upon. For foreigners, understanding and adapting to the cultural norm is not important when living or working in France. Avoiding overly personal questions, using appropriate form of address, and maintaining proper distance can help create positive impress and smoother integration. In conclusion, respect for personal space and privacy is a key element of French culture. It reflects not only politeness but also a deep respect for individuality and social harmony. These values have shaped a society where people can connect with others while still maintaining the independence and personal freedom. 7. Weekends at a time to enjoy life. In France, life is not centered solely around work but strongly emphasizes the balance between work and leisure. For the French, weekends are not just free time after a busy week, but a valuable opportunity to recharge, take care of themselves, and fully enjoy life. The way they spend their weekend clearly reflects a lifestyle that values calmness, refinement, and appreciation for every moment. After a week of work, French people often use the weekend to step away from pressure and responsibility. They generally avoid extending work into their day off unless absolutely necessary. Instead, they treat weekends as personal time dedicated to relaxation and enjoyment. This helps them maintain a positive mindset and regain energy for the upcoming week. Family plays an important role in weekend activities. Many French families choose to spend time together through simple yet meaningful experiences. Walking in the park, visiting local markets, or sharing a relaxed lunch at home or at the restaurant are common activities. These moments not only strengthen family bonds but also create lasting memories. The French also enjoy outdoor activities during weekends. When the weather is pleasant, they often go for walks, cycling, picnics, or light sports. Park, public gardens, and green space become ideal places to relax and enjoy fresh air. Being close to nature helps reduce stress and restore balance in their lives. Another popular habit is taking short trips to the countryside or nearby areas. Many French people use weekends to escape the noise of the city and visit quieter places such as villages, mountains, or coastal regions. These trips do not have to be long or elaborate, but they provide a sense of peace and allow people to reconnect with nature and themselves. One of the most distinctive aspects of the French culture is that they do not see rest as laziness. On the contrary, they consider it as an essential part of maintaining a high quality of life. For them, being productive does not mean working constantly, but knowing when to pause and recharge. This balance helps prevent burnout and support a healthier lifestyle. In addition to outdoor activity, many French people spend weekends on personal hobbies such as reading, cooking, watching films, or meeting friends. These simple activities bring joy and relaxation, showing that the French appreciate small pleasures rather than constantly seeking grand experience. Cafes, restaurants, and weekend markets also become more lively during this time. These places serve as social hubs where people gather, talk, and enjoy their time together. The atmosphere of weekends is often relaxed, vibrant, and noticeably different from the busy weekends. Another important point is that French people try to keep their weekend free from interruption. They limit checking emails, responding to work messages, or attending unnecessary meetings. This allows them to truly disconnect with work and focus on their personal life. For foreigners, the French approach to weekend can be valuable source of inspiration. It shows that taking time to rest, care for oneself, and nurture relationships not only makes life more meaningful, but also improve productivity in the long run. In conclusion, weekend in French life are not just about resting, they are about enjoying, reconnecting, and renewing oneself. This lifestyle creates a sense of balance and brings a calm, fulfilling, and deeper meaning to everyday life. It is one of the key cultural elements that define the French way of living. 8. Traditional markets still play an important role in daily life in France, despite the rapid growth of modern supermarkets, shopping centers, and convenient retail options. Traditional markets continue to hold a very important place. These markets are not the space for buying and selling goods, but also cultural hubs that reflect the lifestyle, habit, and community value of the French people. At traditional markets, people can find a wide variety of fresh food and high quality local products, from seasonal fruit and vegetables, a rich selection of cheese, cursed meat, fresh food, to bread and regional specialties. Everything is displayed in a colorful and appealing way. Most of these products are sourced locally, ensuring freshness and preserving natural flavors. French people place great importance on food quality, which is why they often prefer shopping at traditional markets rather than large supermarkets. By selecting ingredients directly, they can better control quality, origin, and freshness. For them, preparing a good meal begins with choosing their best ingredient, and traditional markets provide the perfect place to do so. However, going to the markets in France is more than just shopping. It is also a unique social experience. Customers do not simply buy products, they engage in conversation with vendors, ask about products, discuss cooking method, or even exchange everyday stories. These interactions, through those simple, create a warm and friendly atmosphere that is difficult to find in a modern shopping environment. Vendors at traditional markets are often highly knowledgeable about the products. They are willing to offer advice on selecting ingredients, storing them, or even suggesting recipes. This not only helps customers make better choice but also build trust and long-term relationship between sellers and buyers. Another interesting aspect is that each market often had its unique identity, reflecting the culture and specialty of each region. Some markets are known for cheese, or others for fresh seafood or unique produce. This diversity makes visitor markets an enjoyable and exploratory experience. Traditional market usually take place on specific day of the week and are often located in town square streets or central area of cities and villages. The environment is lively, filled with vibrant colors, the sound of vendors calling out, and the people moving around. All of this create a vivid picture of everyday French life. In addition to food, many markets also sell handmade goods, clothing, fresh flowers, and various other items. This makes market not only place for shopping but also space for social interaction, discovery, and enjoyment. Many French people see going to the markets as a relaxing activity, especially on weekends when they have more time to stroll and enjoy the atmosphere. For family, visiting the market together can also be a bonding activity. Parents often bring their children along, teaching them how to choose food and understand where it comes from. This helps preserve cultural value that pass them down for future generations. For tourists, traditional markets in France are fascinating destinations. They offer an authentic glimpse into local life, allowing visitors to taste regional food and experience the friendly need of the people. Walking through a market, tasting fresh cheese, and enjoying a warm piece of bread on the spot creates a truly memorable experience. Overall, traditional markets in are not just about food, they are an essential part of cultural and social life. They reflect the friend love for fresh ingredients, appreciation for local product, and the importance of community connections. In the rapidly modernized world, these markets continue to preserve the unique value and contribute to the distinct identity of everyday life in France. Night, art and beauty in everyday life. In France, art and beauty are confined to museums or galleries. They are present in everyday aspects of daily life. For the French, beauty is not a luxury reserved for artists or elites, but a natural part of how they live, perceive, and interact with the world around them. As soon as one steps into French city, it becomes clear how deeply art is integrated into urban space. Cobblestone street, historic building, flower-filled balconies, and elegantly designed windows all contribute to a harmonious and aesthetically rich environment. Every detail seems thoughtfully crafted not only for functionality but also to create a visually pleasing, pleasing experience. Architecture plays a central role in expressing artistic value in France. Many historic buildings have been preserved for centuries, maintaining their cultural and historical significance. At the same time, modern structures are designed with careful attention to aesthetics, creating a balance between tradition and innovation. This combination adds depth and character to the living environment. Beyond architecture, art is also present in street life. Street performance, music, painting, and other forms of public art are common sights. It is not unusual to see musicians performing on a corner, artists sketching portraits, or groups putting on live performance. These activities enrich daily life and bring art closer to public. Cafes, shops, and public space in France are also designed with aesthetic consideration. From the arrangement of furniture to color choice and product display, everything reflects a refined sense of style. The French believe that beautiful surroundings can enhance mood and improve quality of life. They so strive so they strive to create environments that both functional and visually appealing. Even in the small detail of home life, attention to beauty is evident. Dining tables are neatly arranged, tableware is carefully selected, and interior decoration are thoughtfully placed. These small thoughts contribute to a warm and aesthetically pleasing living space. An important aspect of French culture is that art is not only something to be observed but also something to be felt and experienced. People take time to appreciate art, whether by visiting an exhibition, attending performance, or simply noticing the beauty around them. This fosters a deep appreciation for aesthetics and emotional richness. Art in France is not a distant or exclusive. It is accessible and integrated into everyday life. It exists naturally, inspiring people and making life more enjoyable. This integration creates an environment where art becomes a part of daily living rather than something separate. For the visitors, experiencing life in France is not just about seeing famous landmarks, but also appreciating beauty in small, everyday moments. From a quiet street corner to a charming cafe, a spontaneous street performance, each detail contributes to a meaningful and memorable experience. Overall, the presence of art and beauty in everyday life is a defining feature of French culture. It enriches life, encourages people to slow down, and help them appreciate the world around them more deeply. This is what gives life in France its unique charm, where art and everyday living blend seamlessly together. 10. The French enjoy conversation and debate. In France, one of the most interesting and distinctive aspects of daily life is the strong culture of conversation, idea exchange, and even debate. For the French, communication is not merely small talk, it is a way to express thought, share perspectives, and engage with the world around them. In everyday conversations, French people are open to discuss a wide range of topics such as politics, society, education, art, culture, and food. Unlike in some cultures where these topics might be considered sensitive, in France they are seen as opportunities to exchange ideas, broaden understanding. French people are generally not afraid to express their opinion, even when they differ from others. A unique feature of French communication is that debate is not viewed as conflict. Instead, it is considered a natural and constructive part of discussion. The goal of debate is not to win, but to explore different viewpoints, deepen understand and enrich thinking. As a result, debates in France are often engaging, just respectful. Meals, especially dinner, are common setting for deep conversations. Eating is not just about enjoying food, but also about sharing ideas and engaging in meaningful dialogue. This discussion can be lively and passionate, yet they remain polite and respectful. Cafes are also important space for conversation and debate. Friend people can spend hours sitting with a cup of coffee, discussing topic in depth. Conversations may start casually but often evolve into more thoughtful discussion. Cafes have historically been places where ideas are exchanged and creativity flourishes. An important aspect of this culture is the ability to listen. When French people are comfortable expressing their views, they also value listening to others. Respect the different opinion is seen as an essential part of polite communication. Additionally, French people tend to use logical argument and evidence to support their view. Critical thinking and analytical reasoning are highly valued. This makes conversation more intellectual and meaningful, rather than purely emotional. This culture of debate contributes to a dynamic society where ideas can be freely exchanged and evaluated. The French believe that discussion and dialogue are essential for social progression. Therefore, they encourage participation in conversation and value the individual expression. For foreigners, these styles of communication may feel new or even intense at first. However, once understood, it became clear that it is a positive and enriching cultural trait. Participating in such discussion can be a great way to learn and integrate into French society. It is also important to note that despite their love for debate, French people maintain a sense of refinement in communication. They avoid personal attack and focus on subject of discussion. This balance keeps conversation both dynamic and respectful. In conclusion, the habit of conversation and debate is a key part of French daily life. They reflect openness of thoughtful, respect for individual opinion, and the value placed on meaningful dialogue. This cultural trait have created a society where people continuously learn, grow, and connect through thoughtful communication. Conclusion that daily life in France is rich in unique cultural elements expressed naturally through small yet meaningful action, from the polite and refined way people greet each other to the way meals are treated as an art form to elegant fashion choice, the habit of taking time to converse and enjoy life. All the aspects contribute to a distinctive lifestyle. Simple actions such as saying bonjour when entering a shop, buying fresh bread every morning, or spending hours at a cafe are not just routines. They reflect the deeper mindset and ways of life of the French people. One of the most remarkable aspects of French life is the balance between work and personal life. Instead of rushing through life, the French choose to slow down and appreciate it more. For them, life is not only about working but also about enjoying meaningful moments, whether it is a good meal, an engaging conversation, or relaxing time with families and friends. This approach creates a lifestyle that feels calm, thoughtful, and inspiring. France is not only famous for its fashion, cuisine, and art, but also the way people value quality of life. They pay attention to small details from communication, styles, and food choice to the arrangement of living space. These habits reflect not only refined taste but also a deep appreciation for emotional and spiritual well-being. Exploring the cultural aspect in France helped us better understand its people and society, while also offering valuable lessons about living. It teaches us the importance of balance, appreciating simple things, and enjoying life more fully. These lessons are not limited to France, they can be applied elsewhere, anywhere in the world. Overall, life in France represents a harmonious blend of tradition and modernity, art and practicality, individuality and community. This balance creates a culture that is both profound, accessible, leaving a lasting impression and inspiration for anyone who experiences it.